Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Benched In podcast. As you see, we have changed studios once again, hopefully for the very last time. But that aside, we're happy to have Chuck Harris with us back again as owner and president of Benchmark Tool and Supply. And y'all may recognize Levi. He's been on our podcast before. Levi, Chuck, welcome back. Certainly appreciate you guys coming out today.
Anytime. Thank you, Mike.
Good to be here again.
Definitely. Totes. Today we're going to be diving into the ABI Force Z23. The ABI Force Z23 is a purpose-built machine for landscaping and sports turf management. But before we learn about what that machine can do, let's get benched in with Chuck and Levi. We're going to fire off a few questions, get their first responses, and learn a little bit about them. Get them warmed up, and then we'll dive into the ABI. So, Chuck, cat or dog?
Dog.
Got a favorite breed?
Right now, Australian Shepherd.
Oh, there you go. Good choice. Levi, I know the answer because I know what you got, but let's hear it.
Dogs and Labradors.
Labs all day.
Yep.
Right on. Chuck, your after-work go-to drink?
Sugar-free Monster.
Get some of that energy back from the day.
You got it.
Levi?
Whatever the day calls for.
All right. Levi, Ford, Chevy, or Dodge?
Depends. Ford mostly.
Okay. What's the depend on?
Application.
Okay. All right. Chuck?
So I'm a transformed Chevy guy coming from Ford.
Okay. Chuck, when you get home, that sugar-free Monster, you on the couch or you're on the recliner?
Recliner.
All day.
All day.
Levi?
Recliner.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Levi, would you rather have all the money in the world or all the free time in the world?
Is both an option?
No.
Free time.
Free time. Yep. Chuck?
Agree. Free time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of you guys as well. I know the answer to this already, Chuck, but if you won the lottery and you could do anything tomorrow, what would you be doing?
I'd have to still be engaged with technology, but I would fish.
Fish. Down there at Lake Gaston, I guess up at Lake Gaston.
You got it.
Yep. Levi, same question.
Same answer.
Yep.
Definitely keep on doing what I'm doing. Maybe a lot more free time.
Yeah, you guys don't strike me as the kind of guys to just say, all right, well, I'm done. Got the money. See ya. I'm out. Levi, oceans or the mountain?
Ocean.
Okay. Chuck?
Lake.
You got to break the rules, don't you?
Yeah. Mountains.
Mountains.
Yeah.
I'm with you, though. Give me the lake. Sitting around a bonfire, telling stories. Are you the quiet guy or are you the talker? Chuck?
I'm listening.
Listening?
And learning.
Okay.
I'm definitely the quiet one.
Quiet ones until you guys get some of your favorite after-work drinks in you.
Sure.
All right, last question, but it's always my favorite. And best piece of advice you've ever been given, Chuck?
Growing. You're either growing or dying, and I apply that to personal and professional life. And it's not all revenue based or material items based, but it's it can be implied just at becoming stronger as a person or a company. So you're either growing or dying.
That's awesome. I love it. Levi, same question.
There's always more than one way to do something. So,
You had a funny story about that, didn't you?
not really. Just always think outside the box. There's different ways we can do things that we both get the end result, but how we get from A to B is the big thing. So
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Hopefully you guys got a good idea of who we're talking to today. So we're going to dive right in. For those of you that don't know, the ABI, again, is a purpose-built machine. It has landscape and turf management applications. Chuck, how did Benchmark find out about the ABI machine?
I first caught a glimpse online of some quick videos and marketing material, and quite frankly, it appeared to be sort of a gimmick. Just being fully transparent, and I would say 6-8 months later, I had a customer that I really admire, Nolan Thomas and Company. He pushes the limit with technology, with his focus being building higher end sports fields. He's gotten into synthetic turf installations, and he actually had purchased one, and actually made the connection between us and ABI, and quite frankly, still viewed it as a gimmick. There's no one tool that will do all this, and decided to make a trip to the factory, and within 5 minutes, it was the real deal.
Yeah, very cool. And that trip to the factory, I was actually on that trip too. The founder and owner of ABI is we'll call him a spitfire for lack of a better word. His energy is contagious for sure. What was their first reaction when you got there and you saw his passion for the ABI? How did that influence your opinion of the ABI?
Well, we did, as you know, we were doing a classroom session first off, and even through that, it was focused on the laser setup and technology side of the machine and capabilities. But and still, even sitting there, his energy, it built my confidence, and he certainly built credibility in the company he's built. But it's still in the back of my mind, says this machine won't do all this stuff. And as you know, after lunch, we took a break and went out and did some hands-on, and it within 5 minutes, it's all it takes to see that this machine will do what it's built to do, plus some. And it was just from that point on, there was no looking back.
Yeah, and you hit on it a little bit, really diving into the laser. With that laser technology, I guess was your key indicator of how the ABI Force Z23 would fit into Benchmark's model, because that's sort of what we're good at.
Yeah, it does. In our travel lanes, we focus on automating equipment that's certainly engine driven, has hydraulic systems and cylinders to move an implement up and down and slope. So, being this particular machine has that capability, it really, it was evident that we could do something with this, and seeing the laser control side of it, just in that compact of a frame, it was a no-brainer for us.
Yeah, sure. So Levi, transitioning over to you, obviously this machine has been built for, the initial use was for, ball field management, landscaping applications. Have you seen any industry trends shifting towards this kind of technology for use in ball fields, or is this still so new that it's kind of leading the way?
I definitely think it's leading the way. Everybody we talk to, it's gaining traction. Everybody's seeing it, talking about it. It really impresses anybody that gets a chance to look at it, get on it, see it. Anybody we've showed it to has been wide open, excited about it. Even the guys that we've sold it to, they're calling, bragging about it, talking about what they've done, how fast they've done it, how easy it is. So it's definitely gaining traction there.
Awesome. And then coming from, the heavy equipment field and the heavy equipment realm, when you talk about grading accuracy, how close is this ABI machine to the heavy dozers that we're typically used to working with?
It's got the same accuracy. The nice thing about it is it's small and compact, where I can get in areas where I can't put that large dozer or large skid steer. From the landscaping side, working in between the sidewalk and back a curb, that little 6-foot strip of grass, I can't put a big heavy skid steer out there, but that ABI will fit in there, do everything I need to do. It works the same as a large machine, just in different applications.
Yeah, and that leads to, again, going back to, it designed initially for ball field maintenance, but it has expanded so much to landscaping applications, to even small grading, operations, where I think you said we got some companies who will do the big heavy grading with the heavy stuff, shift that equipment to another site, and come back in and do some of that fine grading with the ABI.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that before on ball fields, where they're doing the heavy building with the big equipment, and then bringing that ABI in to kind of finishing everything up, putting the final touches on it. There's hundreds of applications for it. So
yeah, and then as far as you go, what are some of this projects you guys been working on recently with it?
I've been on a lot of ball fields with it. Recently, we've been with a guy that does kind of entrances and stuff to these big neighborhoods, working on grading out for patio walkways, the stone walls, getting grass ready to go at those big entrances, and definitely some baseball fields. So
awesome. So, Chuck, moving into benchmarking the sales process, I imagine our customers, the first time they see it, have some pretty strong reactions to seeing that piece of equipment. What type of reactions are we typically seeing out there when customers see this equipment for the first time?
Well, we've seen the same reaction from the customers that we all had. They think it's a toy, and there's no way it can do the job. I think we hear that every time we mention this product to a potential customer, and we get the same reaction from them. We pull this thing off the trailer and spend 5 minutes engaging with the ground, and they see that it's real, and it works, and it starts clicking. I can do with this machine, what it's taken 2 or 3 laborers to do that are extremely hard to find in this current environment. So it really, they're sold on the product really quick, but there's some hesitation because there's a change in workflow here. We're introducing a new piece of equipment that's never been seen before that does the task. It's sort of a hybrid task between general labor with a shovel and a wheelbarrow to a track skid steer loader. So it's just very versatile. So once they see it and then get a little time on it, it becomes a natural for them. But there has to be a shift in mindset.
Very true. And kind of going on that, you talked about versatility. Stay tuned because we are going to go over the attachments that come with it. There is numerous ones from ball field application to landscaping. And I think there's going to be more down the line just because the guys over at ABI are very innovative. So stick around. I definitely don't want y'all to miss out on the attachments as we look into those.
I'd like to add just one piece to that. I think something that we don't mention enough, really focused on the landscape market, is the fact that your compact track loaders today are getting bigger and heavier, which typically require a commercial driver's license to pull them, to transport them. So with the ABI machine, you can load it on a trailer and go back to a mini stand-on track loader and be well under the CDL weight and accomplish just about the same task faster. So mobilizing equipment, you basically got your crew on the trailer, and it's just very efficient.
Yeah, because Levi, what are you pulling yours with currently?
I pull it with a 150 or 1500. So
that's it. So you're not even having to buy heavy duty.
Yeah,
no sir.
No, awesome. So Chuck, we did mention some of the attachments. Are there any attachments coming down the line that Benchmark is going to make available to our customers?
Outside of the mid-mount, rear-mount attachments specifically for the Force machine, we are going to be bringing on some tow-behind attachments that will not do the aggressive task that the ABI Force with attachments on it will do, but it'll fit a smaller market that may not be able to budget for a complete Force package.
Okay.
So we're excited about that because at that point we can address the entire market.
Awesome. Yeah. And you talked about the aggressiveness of the Force. So we've seen Kevin put this thing through its paces. I know you were nervous. He came down for a demo one day, and you're like, I don't know if he's going to break our machine or not, but
it's there's some stress points built into the machine that will break first if that ever occurs. And based on feedback from ABI, even the weak points have never been broken, and that's 3 years in production. So that says a lot for the durability of the equipment.
Very much so. And I know, Levi, first time you got on, I think you were a little hesitant too. And I know you guys have started running a little more wide open. And any issues from your guys' end?
No, I mean, once you get comfortable with it, I mean, we've ran it as hard as we can run it, not had any problems out of it. You know, doing demos, that's what really impresses the customer when you can get out there and run it full throttle, go all out with it, and the springs that ABI has built into it helps a lot too. That way when you hit those hard spots, it picks itself up and doesn't, compress and bog the machine down, and allows you to kind of carry through and push through those hard spots or high spots. So
true. And you're not going to throw the operator off the machine.
They've thought it all through. So that's what I like about it the most.
Very cool. The only thing I think you mentioned that needs replacing is just some of the attachments. They just normal wear and tear, stuff wears down.
Just like any application. I mean, your stealth blades, the blades are going to wear out over time with use and anything like that.
Sure. Yeah. So let's hit a little more on the landscaping piece, because this was built for ball field application, but, ball field application is sort of hand in hand with landscaping. What new attachments has ABI come out that have been specifically designed for your landscapers to help speed up their work?
So for the landscape-specific attachments that have recently been introduced, we're excited. Now you can mount the broadcast spreader on the front or the rear.
Okay.
And you can do that in combination with other attachments to make one pass for seeding and finish prep versus 2 to 3 passes. So just imagine what the increase in efficiency would be there. You mount your broadcast spreader on the front. You put a Vibraflex or just a light rake mid-mount to kind of just tickle the seed and get a little bit of coverage. and then a rear mount spring assisted down pressure cultipacker to put the finished touch on it, and you've got a completed seed bed all in one pass.
Yeah,
So
that's impressive.
it's very impressive. And then prior to that, using the stealth blades or rippers in combination with a rock sifter, you make one pass, you rip it up, you sift the rocks at the same time. Into the pass, you lift up, leave your spoil pile. Then you can utilize the new rear mount scoop to pick up the spoil pile and transport that to the dump area.
Yeah, which traditionally you've got one guy who's sifting rock, another guy shoveling into the wheelbarrow, and another guy pushing it somewhere else. And definitely a time saver there as well.
And they got that edger blade where we can get right up next to sidewalks, concrete, curb, stuff like that, and really clean it up and make it look nice and pretty at the end.
Yeah, definitely. So that's going to wrap it up for this part of the podcast. Part 2, we're going to be out taking a look at the ABI, but I wanted to end this with one final question for these guys. And that was, if you could leave our listeners with a final thought about the ABI, either from a selling point or a using perspective, what would that final thought be?
My final thought would be just be open-minded and take a look at it, because there will be a change in workflow in the types of machines and people that you're using to accomplish the task. Mm-hmm. But if you're open-minded and give it a few minutes, you'll quickly see that it's worth the investment.
Yeah, and that we're not taking people's jobs, right?
That's correct. We're shifting the labor around so that you can really increase your overall efficiency and use that labor where it's needed more.
Beautiful. Levi.
I'm going to go back to my quote that I talked about earlier, the more than one way to do things. Mm-hmm. The ABI is very versatile in what it can do. The old school way of rakes and shovels, this is not made to eliminate that, but to assist with it and make everything so much easier, more efficient, less, hard labor on your guys. If I can jump on a machine and, do what it would take me an hour with a rake and shovel, if I can do it in 10 minutes with an ABI, I'm going to be happier at the end of the day. It gets a lot of things done, and there's several applications for it.
I'd also like to add that, there's a mindset in the sports fields, baseball and softball fields, that you may need to laser grade once a year to get your field back into shape. But this package makes it so easy and efficient. You can literally do that after every tournament or every game if you wanted to, which really allows the players to experience the best surface possible. Because we're grading this surface to within 1/8 of an inch tolerance. Mm-hmm. And it also makes it easier to maintain, because if you take out all those low and high spots, you don't have water, water will not, you don't have drainage problems at that point. So it really just leaves a lasting impression if you do it right and do it consistently.
Yeah, and these machines are not just, we've seen them on college ball fields. We've seen them even up in the World Series. So these are some serious machines, but that doesn't mean that they're out of reach for any municipality or sports club who wants to really give their players a higher playing field. Like you said, the daily maintenance can really make the difference between, a good ball game or even a sprained ankle. Or taking a ball to the shin, that's never fun.
Yeah. Now, I think you hit on it there, just the flexibility of it. So, a local Parks and Rec can not only utilize this machine to maintain or renovate their own field, but they can take it off and grade their tracks, their cross country trails, seed new areas. It's just so versatile. It's allowing them, for budgeting purposes, to look at one machine versus 3 or 4 that it traditionally takes. So it's changing that workflow and train of thought, and that's where we're at in the marketplace now. It's really starting to take off.
Yeah,
and we're excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you guys are loving using it too.
Absolutely, excited every time I get to run it. So
you just get to play at work all day.
That's right.
Yeah. We'll let people think that at least.
That's right.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Be sure to check back for part 2. Levi and I are going to head over to our warehouse. We're going to get the ABI machine out and let y'all take a look at it a little more in depth and take a look at some of the attachments. Again, appreciate y'all checking us out. Come back for part 2. Chuck, thank you so much. Levi, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Not a problem.